Welcome, folks. Welcome to a special episode 10-4, powered by Winning on Wednesday. And I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. And knowing, liking, and trusting, I would like to introduce my director, Robin Shatzkin. Robin, how are you?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to 10-4. 10-4 is as Juan said, is an offshoot of Winning on Wednesday, where we have lots of amazing people coming to present what it is that they do best to everybody in a quick format. We'll then be able to go into breakout rooms and be able to ask our speaker questions. I'm not reading from anything this morning to introduce our speaker of the day because I know him and respect him tremendously. Marc Mathys has been a member of WOW for a very long time and the founder and creator of the Reset It program, coming to us from hopefully sunny and relatively warm Montreal. So it's a wonderful thing. And without further ado, I introduce Marc Mathys of Reset It.
Well, hello, everybody. Nice to be here. I'm just going to share I don't want to be in this front screen. So, thank you very much. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for having me. I just want to do some stuff with you today on what is the Reset It program. The first thing is that what we do is we teach people to reset what doesn't belong to them. Now, there's three pillars there's three things that we work with. One is your programming, your conditionings, and your beliefs. So I'm going to go down into each one, and this is going to be relative of the subject today as how we run our business, where it's coming from, and how we resonate a certain way to get our business. The first thing is we all have to understand is what is programming. Programming is something that you receive by somebody else, meaning, I'll give you an example. For me, when I was 13 years old, when I was going to school, I wanted to be an electrician. And when I came back home that day, and I told my father, I said, hey, I want to be an electrician. And my father told me, in his way of talking, the way that he does it, he said, well, Mark, you're not good enough in math to do that. Now, he continued talking about other things that you have to practice and do stuff. But the thing what I received from him was that I wasn't good enough. So this is a program that somebody else that transferred that program onto me. And then that became my program through all my life. Everything that I was based my stuff on was that I wasn't good enough. I could not do this. I wasn't good enough to do that. I'm not good enough to make money. I'm not good enough to have a good relationship. All these things were based on that program. Now, all of us here are all programmed in that sense. There's no good or bad programming. There's just programming. So this is what's controlling our way of living. The second thing that we're getting controlled by is our conditioning. Now, the conditioning it could come from our social conditioning, our parents. What I mean by conditioning, remember when you're at home and you're eating your meals and you're eating your stuff and you have to finish your plate if you want dessert. Remember that going through? It says if you don't finish your stuff, you can't have any dessert. Well, that's what's called conditioning. Now, this is a simple one, but there's a lot of other stuff that we're conditioned that we don't see and we don't feel, we don't realize that that's the conditioning. And what happens with a lot of us as well, we see a lot of conditionings on our social media. We see a lot of conditioning. It's the same song and dance that we see every day. This is conditioning. They're putting things into your mind that you're following based on their programming, their conditioning, and what they want out of you. That's the conditioning. And the third one is the beliefs, where we start believing things that really don't belong to us. We start believing in these narratives that we hear, and we start believing in, oh, we can't do this, we can't make money, or we can't, it's difficult to have to work for a boss. company or something in there, and that's what the beliefs that we start believing in. And this is controlling our lives. You know, every decision that we're making is based on those three pillars: your programming, your conditionings, and your beliefs. Now, there's no, and what I want to make clear about, there's no good or bad programming. There's just programming. This is not bad. This is not good. I don't identify with good or bad. I identify this. It's programmed. Does that program fit you, or you want to change? You want to reset that program? So our work in what we do as reset specialists is to teach people that to get into a space where your programs and conditions don't work, which I call the state of presence. What I mean by the state of presence is the absence of our programs and conditioning. It's that simple. There's nothing more, nothing less. It's the absence of those programs, those things that people that were in our minds. We got 50, 60,000 thoughts that we have. Well, these are part of the programs and conditioning. So when you're in the state of presence, those programs and conditionings do not work. So when you're in that space, that is where you and only you can make your own decisions. And that's the place where, when you're in business, if you're working from the state of presence, you will receive what you need to receive from the environment of your business. You'll see things happen because you're present in the actions you're doing. And did you know that 90% of businesses that close is a result of their programs and conditionings and beliefs? It's not the money. It's not because they don't have a good idea. It's because of their programs and conditioning. 90%. Amazing, isn't it? What story we tell us? Oh, we can't do this. We can't do that. Or the economy is bad. Or all these things that the economy is bad, and that's the program of the economy coming in and saying, hey, it's bad. But in reality, it's not bad. It's just that the way that we perceive the market. I'll give you a little story. Is that my son is a gourmet chef here in Montreal, and he was just before the pandemic. He was looking to buy the restaurant where he was working, and I asked him a question. I said to my son, it says they wanted a certain amount of money for the restaurant, was $100 and something thousand. And I asked him the question. I said, so if you take yourself out of the equation of the restaurant, is it still worth $100,000? He goes, no. It starts with him. So what he decided during the pandemic, now, if you listen to the economists and you listen to all the BS that's around us, don't open anything up in the pandemic because you're going to lose your money. So what he did, he opened up in the pandemic. He renovated. He got a really good price, because don't forget, everybody's trying to sell their restaurants. So he got a good price. He did his renovations, and I gave him, during the pandemic, I closed my office, so I was working with him a little bit and doing the renovations and going through what he's going through. And then after we sat down in his restaurant when it was finished and said, so how do you feel about this? He goes, oh, amazing. I love this. And he goes, I don't know if I'm going to be successful because now it's going to be takeout. And we just switch it around. So get into your state of presence, my son. What do you think now? I says, oh, we're going to be full. And since that day, he's been full. Every day, his restaurant is full. And 3 months ago, he decided to renovate his restaurant. It cost him $250,000, and he didn't have to take a loan for it. So by being present, listening to the market, being part of the businesses that you're in, it all starts with one person, you. You are the business. It's not what you're selling. It's not what you're doing. It's about you. If you're not well with yourself, how can you be well with other people in running your business? It's impossible. And that becomes the 90% of businesses are going to close because of what we receive from our programs, our conditionings, and beliefs. Amazing, isn't it? That we have that power? Each one of us has that power. But to get into that power, you got to reset your programs and conditionings and beliefs. If you're not in that state, you are doing the same song and dance as everybody else. See, I'll give you an example. If you have 5 people that are doing the same thing, and you see the 5 people in front of you, which one would you buy from? The one that resonates, the one that has that energy. People will always buy people at the end of the day. So you can do the same thing as everybody else. Why they want to buy you? Why they want to buy your service? Because of you. You resonate an energy. Now, what energy are you resonating today? Are you resonating your energy based on your programs and conditioning and saying, please do not buy from me today? Because a lot of people, because of their programs, and this is not personal for each one of us, it's just that we're wired in a certain way from our past saying, hey, please don't buy from me because I don't have confidence, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm not good enough. All these things have an energy attached to it. So what are you saying to your clients? Are you saying, please buy from me? Or please don't buy from me? That's where your business is. It's not what you do and how you do it. It's about you doing the business of being who you are. It's really that simple. And once you change that in the way that you look at your business will change. Because now you're looking at it a different way. You're not looking at through your programs and conditionings and beliefs. The sky's the limit. We're stopping ourselves for doing the things that we want to do based on information that has really nothing to do with us. You know, as an entrepreneur, surely that when you said you want to open your business, what did your family say? The family has certain things, and they were telling you, "Oh, you're not gonna make the money. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. You get a corporate job. Be in corporate. Do your stuff. You'll have a regular paycheck. Come on, just be that way." And then, what happens? You start believing in that. You start believing in the stories of other people telling you. That is programming. Even if they have their best interest as their family, mother, father, spouse, whatever it is, they are transferring their programs and conditioning onto you. So you're stopping living your life based on other things that doesn't belong to you. Amazing, isn't it? I see a lot of people going, yeah. Beautiful. So the thing is, everybody that wants to be in business, and that's why the model that we're doing on the Reset It program, we're coming up with a model for business people. Because what we're seeing in corporate is that a lot of people that are in corporate in regular job, not as an entrepreneur, a solo entrepreneur, but when people are in a corporate job, what they're doing, they're hired to do that job. They're very good at doing what they do. But what happens is that they're bringing their programs and conditioning into the corporate stuff. So it's not about doing the job anymore. The managers are taking care of the programs, conditionings, and beliefs of people. They're managing that. So when you're reset, and that's what we're coming in, we're resetting corporate, I mean top down, meaning going through the whole company so that everybody's in that state of presence working in the same way. So what we're on our research is that most of the corporate that you're in corporate, you're working, the average worker is working about 2 to 3 hours a day in the task that they were hired to do. Amazing. So what we're coming up is that we're saying, okay, you've got 3, you're working to, and by the way, high performers, it's 4 hours in corporate. Not as a solo entrepreneur. As a solo entrepreneur, we're working a lot of hours, but sometimes we're part of that programming and conditioning as well. As a solo entrepreneur, oh, we got to get this done, but we're missing out on the family stuff. We're missing out on this. We're missing out on that because we're not present in the actions we're doing with them. So my message today is very simple. All you have to do in this world is to be you. Connect with yourself and be yourself. And that's it. All the other stuff will just happen when it's happening. Thank you.
What an incredible message. What an incredible message. And thank you so much, Marc, for sharing all of this with all of us.
Thank you.
So we're going to open it up for a couple of minutes for questions. If anybody has any questions, and then we'll break out into some breakout rooms. Anybody else? Anybody have some questions that they'd like to ask? Rich?
Good morning, everybody. You know, I just want to say, Marc, yesterday I was walking across the street and I was in my head and I was like, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I stopped, I gathered my color, I embraced it. I just, all of a sudden in a split second, just transformed into back to me. I reset it. I reset it on 6th Avenue, baby.
Because we have a run at Rich is he sometimes in some of the networking we do together. It's, hey Marc, I did it in the metro today. I did it in the subway today. It was fun. It's
Yesterday
funny.
I did it in the sauna.
Wow.
I love it. It's just beautiful.
Maybe we need buttons. We need buttons, Marc. You know, I did it in my bedroom.
Reset it.
You know, I think it's
That would be neat to do.
it's all good. Anybody else have any questions directly for Marc before we go into breakout rooms?
Or comments or any, you know, I just want to say thank you, Marc. I've used Reset It. Thank you for the program is amazing and I highly recommend it to everybody. I recommend it to all my friends. So please get to do a one-to-one with Marc too. He's amazing as well.
Marc, I had a quick question.
Yeah, Meryl, then Bill.
What is a good referral for you? A lot of us do a lot of networking, and when we're listening to people say things or complain about something, what kind of words or phrases or body language should we be on the lookout for that'll make us think, ooh, they need Marc?
The thing with me, Meryl, is that everybody needs a reset. Okay, so that's the premise around what we do.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you cannot refer us, and my team is that you can't refer us because you haven't lived the experience going through it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you live the experience, and that's what's happening now, they become raving fans. So automatically we're getting the references because people are talking about us because they went through the program. And you know, the program is very simple. It's 2 sessions long. You don't have to break your bank to do it. And you just get involved and do what you need to do. So that's where the reference comes in. But if you're listening to something and you're not present in the actions you're doing, you're getting involved in the things that don't belong to you.
Okay, good
Bill.
answer.
Thank you. Bill has
Great answer, Marc.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed the presentation, Marc. Quick 2 questions. One, to follow up on what Meryl asked about, you know, the ideal reference. Is there a certain, you know, as I say, demographic, psychographic type of thing? Question 1. And question 2 is, you mentioned 2 sessions and you're done. Is that it? Like some places have 2 intro sessions and then have follow-up or whatever you call it.
Well, about the program, we've got our basic program is 2 sessions long. Now, most of the people that go through our 2 sessions, it's fine. But there are some people that need that extra push sometimes, or that extra support there. Well, we have a program for that as well, that they can come on board for two extra sessions and go through the stuff that they need to reset that we didn't have the time to do in the first or second session. So we have a program for that as well. And the reference is that by being present with the people that we're working with, and you see Rich, you see Robin, Juan, and Lynn, when we're all on networking groups and being present and doing our stuff, you're spreading the news of Reset It. You're not necessarily talking about it, but your energy circulates of who you are in the moment you are in. So you're resonating. That's where most of our references come up, because of all of you being present in the actions you're doing as well. Rich is doing on the subway. He's doing whatever that comes out to. People are seeing Rich. And that's where the transfer of the quantum energy comes in, where you are circulating that energy to other people, and that's what's coming in. Now, they might not know about the Reset It program. It doesn't matter. But they know that Rich or Robin or Juan or Lynn or anybody that went through our program, that spreads the news around. And when they hear what we do, or they see our post, or we're doing a podcast, really soon with Lynn, is the Neuro Quantum talk show that we're doing with Lynn, Talk with Mark and Lynn. So these are the messages that we're sending out there. So we're just matching the energies together. That's all we're doing.
Okay.
And then that's what we're receiving as well.
Thank you. Any
Great.
other questions before we go to the breakout rooms? No? Hey, Mark, out of curiosity, before we go to the breakout room, is there, how we normally have a question of the week? Is there anything that we could, you would like to ask, or maybe we could ask during these breakout sessions about Reset It? Maybe is there preconditions or something we can ask of those questions? Maybe I'm going to open that to you.
Well, I think the only thing that you can do in the breakout room, be present in the breakout room.
Yeah. There you go.
Just do what you need to do. Talk to the people that you want to do. Have a conversation with them. Talk to them about their family. Do your stuff. It's not just about business. Get involved in who they are. And at the end of the day, people buy people because of who they are, not what they do. So that's the basic. The question for me is that just do what you need to do when you're in a breakout room. Have a conversation.
Just be yourself.
Don't put anything against it, and just have fun with it.
There you go. All right, we're gonna take that advice. Okay, I'm gonna open up the breakout rooms now.